something bad is being told.
Oh, yeah.
Like an introduction.
What's going on here?
So, I thought, okay, so are we...
I don't know, are we?
What are we saying here? Anyway, so...
I don't know.
My hubby was listening to...
You're going to have to tell me that.
I brought a little espresso. Are you serious? Yeah. I made it myself. I didn't go to Starbucks. I'm not a coffee addict, I promise.
Okay, cool.
This is interesting because that was a joke, but it wasn't. At the same time, it's connected to what I'm going to tell you because hubby was listening to Mr. Are You Serious? Pastor Paul Begley.
Oh, yeah.
Don't write in if you don't like him. I don't care, okay? Anyway, so I didn't realize this, but he apparently had a dream, I think he said 2 months ago, where he saw, this build up with,
what?
With, with everything going on right now between, my God, I'm just going blank. Do you guys, this happened last, you guys wrote in and said it might be the 5G. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it might be at this point.
What's going on here, dude?
This is getting crazy. I can't even think of the name of the country.
Think of the day. What are you talking about?
This is going too long, folks. I think we need to leave soon. Russia and... Hello? I can't even think of the name of it. Are you serious? This is getting ridiculous. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you're going to have to edit this or just start all over again or
I'll
what.
turn down the volume, dog.
It's not like I really need to tell you because you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we sure do.
But I'm going to just, I got to see how long this is going to take. This is crazy. I might have to edit this. I'm going to have some coffee. This is crazy. Are you serious?
Blueberries. Return to file select.
My coffee
Man, this is loud, dog.
Starbucks. I got this little espresso machine years ago. The thing's still kicking. I mean, I'm talking like over 15 years ago. They don't make things like that anymore, if anything's even open anymore. Okay, time is running out on this one. Let's get to the point.
Well,
I literally cannot think of the name. This is ridiculous. I can't believe this happened. Russia and... Wow. Unless some of you guys need some comic relief. I'm not doing this on purpose, but if I don't edit this and I actually put this on the air like this, it's because I thought I'd give you a good laugh. Yeah, you can laugh at me all you want if it helps. That's alright. Whatever helps these days in this kind of crazy situation that we're in this world. I am still... How long has it been? Like... 5 minutes? This is crazy. I can't think of the name. Russia and... You guys are all like... Come on! You got it! No, I don't. No, I don't have it yet. I can't believe this is so crazy. This is worse than ever. I just did a whole video on this yesterday. Oh my God, I think I need more coffee. Do I dare load this video?
thank God for coffee.
Wow.
Yes, load it.
Whatever helps. I'll make a total ass of myself if I have to. If it helps, I'll do it.
I've spent a lifetime doing
Russia
that.
and hello. Hello, Russia. Think. This is crazy. I can't believe this is happening. Okay.
Russia did something?
This is going Russia. This is really bad. This is really bad. You guys, maybe you should just go have some coffee or something, or popcorn.
Yeah.
You know, when you come back, maybe I will have thought of the name of the country by now.
Probably not.
I'm about to give up and just move on with the message. This is crazy.
NATO?
That's why I'm not a news reporter.
The NATO?
Dang, that's a knee slapper. Oh my gosh. Okay. For now, I'm gonna just move right on to the report. As Russia is making moves to invade the country next to it,
Oh, Ukraine?
which you all can fill in the blank, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
Ukraine? Ooh.
So this is what I heard Pastor Mike say, is that when you saw the tensions rising and it looked like either Russia was going to go in or they were about to, there was a huge explosion in the Middle East instead. So everybody's focused on Russia and fill in the blank. And meantime, what's going on is this huge explosion in the Middle East. Mesopotamia. Could it be connected to a sneak attack? You know? Sneak attack with Israel. Going on some, some attack on Israel.
This is Bomberman on
Russia.
N64. I got cheat codes on.
Syria, Turkey, and Russia, but I thought that was really interesting when I heard him say that, because that would actually fit what I'm saying right now, is that there was a prelude to Mesopotamia, which is what everyone's focusing on now. Russia and the unknown country that I can't think of the name of itself. This is really great. I cannot believe I still haven't thought of it. I hope you guys laughed. Laugh it up at my expense. I don't care. Whatever helps. Okay, so a serious word has just become totally ridiculous at this point. That's okay. This is what I heard, and some of you commented from my last video. I totally forgot. Oh my gosh, it's probably because the months are always, we're always a month ahead with the Torah calendar. So we've already gone over to the Shabbat, the Feast of Trees, but interestingly enough, on the 16th, this month, is really the Tu Shabbat. So that's a major high watch day for the rapture anyway. So Tu Shabbat, the Feast of Trees, on the 16th, which is the day that they're saying Russia could invade, okay, this mystery country, and or have all these drills with all the nuclear stuff. So we'll see which it is, and what's really going to happen could be connected to this word. So, and the Ezekiel 38 war is, that is really, sounds more like what I got. to give you that. I gotta get off here as soon as it's gonna be a relief to get off of this video. Wow. If I ever think of the name of the country, I'll let you know right away. So, love y'all. God bless you guys. And, stay strong. Keep looking up. Jesus Christ is coming very.
The world-famous Krakatoa volcano erupted today in Indonesia. The volcano is known for significantly impacting global climate after it erupted in 1883. Scientists are monitoring the volcano, warning locals to stay away should a larger eruption occur. The Anak Krakatoa Volcano Observatory (AKVO) raised the color alert level in the area from yellow to orange. Krakatoa is also transcribed as Krakatau, and the names have been used interchangeably by officials in Indonesia and scientists tracking the volcanic event. The observatory has reported several eruptions at the volcano, with the last to occur around 6 p.m. Eastern Time today. That eruption lasted roughly 282 seconds and show up an ash cloud into the sky to an estimated 5,302 feet. The AKVO reported, visuals directly from the CCT were observed eruptions with the color of the thick black eruption smoke 1,500 meters from the top of the volcano, with winds carrying the cloud of volcanic ash to the northeast of the eruption site. On May 20, 1883, an eruption at Krakatoa in the Sunda Strait of Indonesia began. The eruption series peaked almost 3 months later on August 27, when over 70% of the island of Krakatoa and its surrounding archipelago were destroyed as it collapsed into a caldera. The 1883 eruption is considered to be even more explosive than the recent Tonga volcanic eruption at Hunga Tonga, which generated a Pacific-wide tsunami and a global pressure wave that went around the Earth several times. The 1883 eruption was one of the most deadly and destructive volcanic events recorded in history, with the population wiped off of nearby islands and more than 35,000 people killed. The volcano disaster launched pyroclastic flows, abundant volcanic ash, and triggered multiple tsunamis. There are numerous reports of groups of human skeletons floating across the Indian Ocean and washing up on the east coast of Africa up to a year after the massive eruption. While the 1883 eruption of Krakatoa was lethal, it had a bigger impact around the world, creating what's known as a volcanic winter. Scientists believe the eruption injected a huge amount of sulfur dioxide gas high into the stratosphere, which was then transported around the globe via jet streams.
Their video game people sound
This
like
led
they're
to a
trans.
global increase in
They're
sulfuric acid
LPTGQPs.
concentration in high-level cirrus clouds,
Even
which
their video
resulted in
game,
an increase in
Abby's
cloud
and stuff.
reflectivity. Because the sun reflected more light back out to space from the sun than usual, the entire planet cooled until the atmospheric sulfur precipitated out of the sky over multiple years. In the year following the eruption, global temperatures dropped and weather patterns altered, bringing about record rains to places like Los Angeles and San Diego, heavy snow to New York City. It's too early to know what Krakatoa will do next. In recent months, the volcano has become somewhat active. Throughout 2021, intermittent white gas and steam plumes would rise and drift around the volcano. Throughout the year, NASA Global Sulfur Dioxide Monitoring page reported weak but distinct sulfur dioxide emissions from above the volcano too. In November 2021, during periods of clear weather, white plumes and white to gray plumes were also seen rising above Krakatoa, with incandescence visible inside the crater at least 3 times. Due to that activity, authorities had the volcano at an alert level 2 on a scale of 1 to 2. The public was advised to remain outside of a 2 kilometers radius zone of hazards from the volcanic crater, a warning that remains to this day.
Hey YouTube family, hope y'all are doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm supposed to work this morning, but they canceled because we got big snow here in Texas. A lot of ice. They decided to have us come in later because our gates are stuck open. So I came in at 1 o'clock today instead of my 6 a.m. that was going to work. But that's not why I'm here. I could show you a little bit of the snow out here. But that's not why I came on here. It never ceases to amaze me how some people want to speak to the body of believers, as they say they're believers. Sometimes I'll wonder. I try not to get into all that, but I was talking to a guy on another social media platform. This girl said she was in talking to her friend that she'd been talking to for a long time. They always talk about the Bible, and the friend just said, hey, Christ is not the only way to heaven. And she was like, are you serious? And this guy attacked her and said, well, who are you? You're not ordained. You don't have a right to tell her that she's wrong. And I was like, well, who does she have to be ordained by? He said you have to be ordained by an accredited college by a man. And I was like, are you serious? And I said, so God can't ordain anybody? He goes, oh, if you think you're ordained by God, then you're just hearing demonic spirits. This stuff just never ceases. We got in discussion, and he twisted all my words, and I was starting thinking, is this guy for real? Is he really a believer? But he was saying that God never gives anybody authority to spread the word. I was like, do you read the scripture? He said, yes, I know scripture well. I said, but you don't think we're allowed to tell people? He goes, no, if you're not ordained, you don't have the right to tell anybody about God. This stuff just blows me away. I get a little bit of that here on this channel, but most of y'all on my channel are my loving family. You know, I had one the other day that started talking crazy, but he did a video before he talked to me. He said the same thing he said in his video. Comment on, he's done deleted his video and all his comments after our discussion. So I don't know. Hopefully he understood. And maybe God shed some light on where he was absolutely wrong on what he was saying to my sister that was commenting into me. Because I know that he was wrong on that. Those comments are gone now. I can't remember what they were all about, but what do y'all think about these? Where are these people coming from that say that God doesn't give us a right to spread the word? I told him God said to go make nations. Oh, he told his disciples that. He didn't tell you that. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, are you serious? And he just was getting so angry at me where he said, I'm done with you. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I don't want to talk to you anymore anyway. There's nothing fruitful coming from this conversation, and I can't change him, you know. All I could do is tell him, but he didn't want to hear anything. He wanted to tell me, though. That's the funny thing, but I hope y'all are doing well. You're doing safe. I know a lot of the U.S. got this storm, a lot of rain, a lot of snow. The snow was in Mexico this morning, stretching all the way through Texas, all the way up into my old state of Virginia, where it was raining, but it was snowing in Oklahoma, bad, all the way up through the Great Lakes. So, big storm, but I hope y'all are safe. God bless y'all. Like I said, I don't normally work this shift. I'm supposed to work tomorrow night shift, weekend shift before I move again on Tuesday. But it looks like me and my boss are the only ones working because nobody else wants to come in. Because Texans do not drive in this stuff. And they don't treat the roads in Texas like you did in Virginia. Not even close. So, be safe out there. Pray for me. If I got to work a lot of hours, I will do it. And my boss, he's coming in tonight to work the midnight shift after me. He normally doesn't do that, but the night shift guy refused to come in. And he had already got me in here at 1 o'clock, or I would have came in tonight. But might be back here at 6 a.m. and get off at 9. Might be here at 6 and then again in tomorrow night. So, who knows? It is what it is.
I don't know.
Make the hours while I can, you know. You never know for a rainy day. God bless y'all. I love y'all.
If you want to eat healthy and feel
Oh, yeah,
your best, you've got to try Kachava. Kachava is the world's healthiest all-in-one meal shake.
Yesterday when I got to work, one of my co-workers handed me this manila envelope, and on it said to Michael, and then it said don't open until you get home. So my coworker hands me the envelope and says, "Hey, what's in it? Let's check it out. Let's see what's in there." And I'm like, "Oh, well, it says don't open until I get home." "Oh, just do it now." I'm like, "No, I gotta honor this person's request. If they don't want me to open it till I get home, don't do it till I get home." So that night when I got home, I opened it up, and there was this book inside called Life is Messy. I'm not really quite sure what it's about yet, but it's written by somebody named Matthew Kelly. Life is Messy. Interesting title. So one of my customers, a person whose hair I do, she's the one that brought the book in. I did her hair like a week ago or so, and not only did she bring me a book, but she put this letter inside of the book. And so I opened up the letter and read it, and then I texted her and asked if it's cool if I share this letter without mentioning her name in it or anything, and she said sure. There's reasons for it. I want you to hear this. It's dated January 30th, 2022. So that's when she wrote the letter, and then yesterday she delivered the book with the letter. Today is February 3rd of 2022. So, dear Michael, my heart is so full. I wanted to say this in the salon, but for obvious reasons I did not. I have been suicidal since I was in my teens. Basically since I knew there was such a thing. My mom once told me that my dad said he wished he could crawl into a hole and pull the hole in after him. Yes, that is it exactly. So at least I know I come by this way of thinking, honestly. So at least I know I come by this way of thinking, honestly. So she must be saying that she thinks this way because this is something that she perhaps had got from her dad, right? Because it sounds like he wanted to crawl in a hole and just bury himself, right? So she says, I'm still alive primarily because I don't want to go to hell. So she must have been raised with the belief that if you commit suicide, you're going to go to hell. So she's still alive. Basically, she hasn't killed herself because she doesn't want to go to hell. That's number one. And secondarily, because when I was 25, my older brother shot himself fatally. Our family was permanently impacted, and I could not see my way clear to do that to them again. You understand? So her brother killed himself, and she didn't want to put her family through the pain of losing another child. My sister attempted suicide in 2004. Man, a family of suicide. I'm so familiar with this. You guys, this is my family. My sister attempted suicide in 2004 while her son was on his honeymoon in Italy. Not a good look. The reason was incredibly lame, but the interesting part is that she was allowed to return to work as a nurse after it was determined that she didn't really want to die. She cut across the wrist rather than parallel to the arteries. The other nurses marveled, but you always seem so cheerful. Well, yes, you don't want to go around telling people you are depressed, do you? That brings me to you. So now she's saying that brings me to you, to me. In addition to being a superior stylist, you probably don't realize how much you do for people when you let them tell you what is troubling them. How much people have been helped by your videos. So she must watch my videos too. How much you have enriched people's lives by praying for them. Everyone is fighting a terrible battle. That is probably a quote from someone famous as told to me by my other sister, rest in peace. So she has another sister who had passed away. We need to handle everyone with care. I'm sorry if I ever failed to respect the cross that you carry. I can't recall if I did, but it is always possible. So she's apologizing just in case she ever disrespected the cross that I carry. She's apologizing for that. She goes on to say, this book is not well written, but the guy meant well. I hope some part of it is helpful. And I'm sure it will be. And that's a beautiful letter. I'll talk about it as I'm driving, but I want to share another something with you before we take off here. In Matthew chapter 15, starting in verse 22, and behold, a Canaanite woman from that region came out and was crying. It was a Canaanite woman crying out to Jesus, "Have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. Have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. My daughter is severely oppressed by a demon." But he did not answer her a word. And his disciples came and begged him, saying, "Send her away, for she's crying out after us." He answered, "I was sent." Now he answers the lady, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But she came, and she did something in Greek called proskuneo. Your Bible might say she knelt before him, but it's proskuneo, which means worship. And it also means to lick the hand like a dog does its master. To lick the hand like a dog does its master.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, remember that. So she came up and proskuneoed before him and said, "Lord, help me." She says, "Lord," again, and then she says, "Help me." She's asking for mercy, she's asking for help, and he answered, "It is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs." Now listen, pause right here. The word dogs is kunerion in Greek. But there's another word for dog in Greek, which is kuon. It's in 2 Peter 2:22, where Peter says a dog returns to its vomit. And a kuon is a dog. It's a dog. It even scavenges, like in the dog family, like coyotes and wolves and such. It's that kind of a dog. So that's kuon in 2 Peter 2:22 for dog. But in this instance, Jesus says it's not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the kunerion, which is literally a puppy, a little house dog or a puppy. So a dog that you take care of in your arms, in your home, you feed it, you cherish it, it's so cute, it's a little puppy. Everybody loves puppies. So Jesus is saying it's not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the puppies. The children of who? Of Israel. He says, "I was only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." So you might be a lost sheep, but you're not of the house of Israel. You're of the house of Canaan. But she says to him in verse 27, "Yes, Lord, yet even the puppies eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table," or in Greek, their Lord's table. Kurios, it means master or Lord. So even the puppies eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. And Jesus says to her in verse 28, "O woman, great is your faith. Be it done for you as you desire." And her daughter was healed instantly, which is the Greek words, two words, hora and ekainos. Hora is a time period or an hour. Ekainos is that one or that very time. So the very hour, that very hour, or instantly, or at that very moment, her daughter was healed, or her daughter was delivered from this crazy oppression by a demon. So the woman got what she desired. And she mentioned breadcrumbs. Now, there's so much to that. You think of breadcrumbs, and you think of something very, very small. Perhaps you even feel like all the Lord ever gives you are breadcrumbs in life. Everybody else gets to partake of the bread, but you, maybe a couple breadcrumbs here and there. I know. Caused me a lot of depression in my life. overwhelming depression that led me to attempting suicide 5 times in my life. Thinking that the Lord just didn't care about me. I'm never going to be good enough or measure up to his standards. I'm never going to be a true follower of Christ. I'm just a loser, a failure. And I wreak havoc everywhere I go. You know, I felt that way. And it's a battle. I still have to battle those kinds of feelings. Because those feelings want to come back. About this, and this woman and I, we must have talked a lot about these types of things, you know. I must have shared my experience with her. I'm in a business, I do people's hair, so it's one-on-one, and we have conversations. I have conversations with everybody in my chair. What is really nice about that letter she sent me isn't for you guys to hear, oh, look at Michael, he's so great, going around and changing lives. No, I'm actually the guy that, you know, Jesus talks about a couple different people that are going to go to him and say in that day, hey, Lord, Lord. One of them says, Lord, Lord. Guess what? I've been keeping a record of everything I've done for you. I know that there's rewards for me, awaiting me in heaven. Rewards. Rewards for what? Well, here's the list, Lord. I keep record. I heal the sick. I raise the dead. I casted out demons. I've done all of this great stuff in your name. Obviously, power was flowing in the name of Jesus. But then you got the other person that says, Lord, what did I ever do for you? They're not keeping a record. They don't say, Lord, here's my record of all my stuff I've done so I can get rewards. They just say, Lord, when did I ever do anything, really? There's a different mindset. The mindset that goes and says, listen, I've done all this stuff. I've done all this stuff. Give me my rewards. Jesus, you know, I never knew you, which in Greek means there was never intimacy between the two of us. It's gnosko in Greek. I never gnosko you. There was no intimacy. Yeah, you did all this stuff in my name, but you never really knew me. I never knew you. You think you knew me through your performance, right? But the other person that thinks that the Lord doesn't know who they are at all, he knows them. It's an interesting mindset, you guys. It reminds me of the flesh going. The flesh wants to boast. The flesh wants to brag. The flesh wants to do. The flesh wants you to keep record of its doings, but then when the flesh fails, oh no, please erase that record. Jesus says to that flesh person of you, I never knew you. That's not how I know you. So that part of you can get away from me because I never knew you. That part of you is a worker of lawlessness. What do you mean? That part of me did all these good things in your name. No. That was my spirit. That was moving. It wasn't you, the flesh. So get away, because your flesh is a worker of lawlessness. No matter how much law it thinks it keeps, it's still lawless. Do you understand? So back to the breadcrumbs and puppies. Puppies and breadcrumbs. I've been thinking about puppies and breadcrumbs as I've been reading that verse and meditating on it. And then I get this letter from this woman and I'm reading it and I honored her. I didn't open it at work like my coworker wanted me to do because she asked me not to, so I didn't. It was nobody else's business but mine. But then I got permission because I texted her and thanked her so much for the gift and the amazing letter that she wrote. Thank you for sharing your heart with me. I said, I'd love to share it with my viewers on YouTube. I said, I won't use your name. And so she says, sure. So I thought that would be good because maybe that touches some of your hearts and those of you that think you're all alone and only feeding on maybe even breadcrumbs in life. You know, well, you got lots of people out there that have compassion for you. boy. If you're eating around her, she'll follow you wherever you go, hoping that you drop just a little crumb. It doesn't matter, just drop something if she wants it. The little puppies, the little house dogs, they love the breadcrumbs. You understand? Now listen, to an ant, you drop a breadcrumb on the ground, to an ant, that is a feast. You understand? Can you imagine, like when Jesus, okay, so Jesus was telling that lady, the Canaanite woman, I didn't come to deliver bread, healing. Healing, do you understand? Bread and healing, that bread that represents his body. His body was broken so that you could be repaired. His body was beaten so that you could be healed. So healing, she's wanting healing. She's wanting deliverance for her body. She said, that's for only the children of Israel. Not for somebody like yourself, cute as a little puppy. Yes, a little puppy. Puppies don't get it. Only the children get the bread. But she says, yes, but the puppies, they get the breadcrumbs. Because when the master of the house is eating, the breadcrumbs fall and the puppy gets the breadcrumbs from the master's table. Just give me a breadcrumb, Lord. See, she wasn't looking at the physical, the fleshly, the carnal kind of thinking. Oh, it must take a huge piece of bread to get my daughter healed. No, I just need a crumb. Just give me a crumb. Can you imagine when Jesus was passing out the bread to his disciples and they're feeding all the thousands of people with just 2 small fish and 5 pieces of bread, and he's distributing it out, and it feeds over 5,000 plus people. But I'm sure there were crumbs that were falling to the ground, and I'm sure there were little ants